What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And today, we are going to look at the Brett Tomko trade, which occurred back on December 11th, 2001. Now, this is a continuation of the Ken Griffey Jr. trade, which was put out not too long ago. And this trade was a swapping of 6 players between the San Diego Padres and the Seattle Mariners. So, without further ado, let's start by discussing the San Diego Padres, who got starting pitcher Brett Tomko. Now, Tomko had a solid year as a starter. He would go 10-10 with a 4.49 ERA over 32 starts. He did manage to throw 3 complete games as well. But after the single season, he would be traded to the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for a pair of pitchers, the first of whom was reliever Luther Hackman, and in a single season, Hackman would post a 5.17 ERA across 65 appearances before he was allowed to walk, along with pitcher Mike Wadnicki, and Wadnicki would spend a single year in high A before he would walk as a free agent. So, not the best deal there. Now, the Padres also got 2 more players in the original trade, the second of whom was catcher Tom Lampkin. Now, Lampkin spent 1 year as the team's starting catcher, and he played decently. He posted a .217 average with 10 homers, but after the season, he decided to hang up his cleats and retire. Now, they also got second baseman shortstop Ramon Vasquez. Now, Vasquez was a solid hitter for his 3 years in San Diego. Over that time, he hit .264 with 6 homers. But then he would be traded to the Boston Red Sox along with 2 other players in exchange for outfielder Dave Roberts. Now, Roberts had a solid 2-year stint in San Diego. He would hit .285 with 10 homers and, of course, 72 stolen bases before he would walk. So pretty solid trade there for the Padres, specifically to get Dave Roberts. How did the Seattle Mariners do? So the first player that they got was catcher Ben Davis. And Davis was like a big-name prospect, to an extent. And he spent his 2.5-year stint with the Mariners in a platoon role. Now, his defense was among the best in the league, but his offense was just average. He hit .237 with 13 homers in that time frame before he was traded, and this trade was discussed in the Randy Johnson trade, which will be linked below. Now, they also got shortstop Alex Reyes, and Reyes, he would spend... basically, he failed to make the team out of training camp, so he spent training camp with the team, spring training, and then he was released. They also got pitcher Huascar Serrano, and Serrano, he would end up spending 1 year in the minors before walking. So, how did the other 2 teams do? We'll start with the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals got starting pitcher Brett Tomko, who failed to replicate his success from San Diego. While he went 13-9, he saw his ERA jump up to 5.28. He also led the league in hits allowed with 252 and earned runs with 119. After his 1 year, he would walk as a free agent. Now, lastly, we have the Boston Red Sox. They got 3 players for Dave Roberts, the first of whom was infielder Ramon Vasquez. He struggled to start off the season as he hit a .197 without any homers before he was traded. We will not be discussing that. And both these other players that they got were also traded. We're not going to be discussing that. They also got pitcher David Pauley. Now, Pauley would spend most of his 4 years with the team in the minors, pitching to the tune of a 9.53 ERA over 9 appearances for the Red Sox themselves before he was traded. And lastly, outfielder Jay Payton, who was a decent player in a bench role for Boston for about half a season, hitting .263 before he was traded. So, who wins the Battle of the Wars? Pretty simple. San Diego gets a 9.0 WAR out of all their players. Seattle got a 1.5 out of just Ben Davis. And then, of course, both St. Louis and Boston probably regret this trade. -0.6 for St. Louis, -1.1 for Boston. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good rest of your day.